The following is a feature presentation of our Nation Sports Show. Tonight on the Nation Sports Show, we recap Championship Sunday. Super Bowl 60 is now set. Tonight, we also bring to you the latest breaking news in the NFL. Over the weekend, the biggest story was reported on Saturday. Mike McCarthy was named the next Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. All over the world, Steelers fans are shouting one thing.
Tonight on God Fucking Damn It.
Tonight, we also bring to you our analysis of UFC's debut on Paramount Plus, UFC 324 from Las Vegas. It's showtime.
Good up to the court, talking all that is sport, breaking down the latest news, scores, and more. Welcome to our Nation Sports Show.
Tonight, this show is going to suck. No, we're just kidding. What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. And you know what that means? The sun is shining. It's bitter cold. The Steelers are a bunch of fucking morons. And we are live now. What's going on, everybody? I'm Ezra Vickery. We thank you guys for joining us as always. We got a loaded show for you tonight. It's going to be, once again, one of those shows where anything and everything could happen. We got, of course, talk about the AFC and NFC championship matches that took place, which set up the Super Bowl, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. Plus, of course, we got the Pro Bowl games coming up next week. A little flag football competition, if you will, as the great Dusty Rhodes would say, to whet your appetite, and also kind of whet your appetite for what to expect at the Olympic Games in 2028 as well. So we're going to get a little preview of that. Also, we got the latest in MLB, NBA, and of course, the Ultimate Fighting Championships, as well as UFC 324 is now in the books, with UFC 325 this weekend as the same week, or actually same day, as the Royal Rumble live from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. So we're gonna get into UFC 324 and a little bit of 325 in just a little bit. And we got other news to get into as well. We'll get into all that here in a little while. But first, let us introduce the two unlucky bastards who have a job to carry me through the rest of the show. And that is the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, the leader of the Steel Circus, especially after what they did this past week, which still boggles my ever-living effing mind. And that is Joey, not McCarthy, Thornton.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, strap your whatever you want together and give it up for the Steel Circus. What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having an amazing Tuesday. Feels good to be back in the co-host chair this week as we preview at least a little bit on the Super Bowl. Not going to give our score prediction just yet because We could do that next week, but
We are.
we're here ready to talk some sports, including the clown that's going to be roaming the Pittsburgh Steelers sideline, which is now considered, in my opinion, the worst head coach that Pittsburgh has ever hired, in which is only their fourth head coach in franchise history. But of course, we'll get into all that. But without further ado, let's do this.
Yeah, we can't do it without my brother here, my heavy metal brother from the great state of North. We're about to be fucking buried in snow, North Carolina. He's
That
dealt
is
with
so true.
he's dealt with a lot of ice, baby. Too cold, too cold. And now it's time to stop, collaborate, and listen to the wonderful big Stephen Wyand. What's up?
Tonight on They Are So Fucked. What is going on, everybody? We are here. We are live, and we are here to bury. Ooh, I just dropped the wrestling terminology word. Ooh, cancel me now, idiots. The Pittsburgh Steelers fan base. Are you happy that you got another head coach? Probably not, because it's not the one you wanted anyways. Oh man, oh man, oh man. I know Pittsburgh Steelers fans are reaching for their bottles and they're probably thinking, tonight, where's my liquor? And so many other different things you could be thinking of as a Yinzer, with the Steelers on what they're doing with their hiring of Mike McCarthy. And oh dear God. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into the championship games from this past Sunday. We're going to get into the UFC and so much more. So let's do this.
Yes. And we got a lot to get into, and let's start off with some of the breaking news that happened today. Well, actually, from today and yesterday, and that was that uh, obviously the coaching search still continues for a lot of teams. Obviously, we know Mike McCarthy's now with the Steelers. You guys are fucked. Obviously, we know that offensive coordinators are coming. Mike McDaniel, now the new offensive coordinator for Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers, which we'll talk about here in a second as well. There's been a lot of different changes. And people have pulled out of certain races because of the fact they don't want certain jobs. Or maybe it's because of the person, maybe it's they're loyal to the team they were at. We're gonna get into that, but one of the biggest ones I think today was Joe Brady. That's the former offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills, because he has now been promoted as the head coach of the Bills, which I think, considering the coaching landscape right now with all the big names kind of taken except for the man they just terminated, Sean McDermott, I think was a smart choice, because if you think about it, it would be easier to have somebody who knows those plays, who knows how the team's tendencies, knows what makes them tick, knows what can be improved, just because he's been there for almost 4 seasons. The man knows his shit. To me, I feel like that hiring in-house, I think, was the smartest decision the Bills made when it came down to this whole McDermott situation. I still believe McDermott got scapegoated out of this whole thing, and I feel bad for him. But I feel like they made a best case scenario out of this situation.
Yeah,
And
and
that was
considering, go ahead.
Yeah, to me, I am so behind this coaching hire 1000% because I have seen Joe Brady not just in the NFL ranks, but I've seen him in the college ranks, because back in 2019, when LSU went on that amazing run, guess who was the offensive coordinator for LSU? The one and only Joe Brady. And who was his quarterback? The
Joe
one and
Burrow.
only Joe Burrow. So Joe Brady knows what he is doing as far as leading an offense, whether he is an offensive coordinator, a quarterback's coach, what have you. And now the fact that he is finally a head coach, I mean, this is definitely the best thing that Buffalo could have done. This is definitely best case scenario, because Joe Brady knows what he's doing when it comes to mentoring quarterbacks. And the fact that he has been mentoring Josh Allen over these past few years, really getting to know him, really getting to know the playbook, and just really getting to be around the Bills Mafia in general. The fact that Joe Brady is now the head coach makes me think that despite New England's up-and-coming resurgence, this Bills team may be even more dangerous starting next year and every year going forward, as long as this man is in charge.
I normally do not agree with coordinators getting head jobs that are, outside, the organization or in-house with the organization. But in this situation, I do agree with it because he was the best case scenario, for Buffalo because everybody else was already taken. John Harbaugh with the Giants and, um, just all these different coaches that have made their changes, going to different teams. And the fact that you have mostly everybody taken, with their respective ball clubs now, there was no other place for Buffalo to go because they weren't going to get McCarthy because Pittsburgh had their eyes on him, and Baltimore got the Chargers defensive coordinator as their head coach, and Pete Carroll's still looking for a job. They weren't going to bring him in because he's not familiar with Josh Allen and those plays. So in this situation, I do agree with the in-house coordinator that's already with the team being the head coach because he is familiar with Josh Allen. He is familiar with James Cook. He is familiar with Dalton Kincaid. He's familiar with Knox and all these different players on the offense and the defensive side of the ball, and he knows them very well. So you might as well go with somebody who knows his players on the team respectively. So for Buffalo, I say good move. All things considering, and I agree with you as, and I know I agree with you, Joey, and Kevin, that McDermott got scapegoated out of Buffalo.
Yeah, it's the right move because I think with anybody who's got the experience of knowing Josh Allen, his tendencies, knowing who he is as a person and as a player, you can't have nobody better than Joe Brady. I think he's the best fit. And especially if you're going to hire in-house, nobody better than the guy who works closely with him every single day. That being the offensive coordinator. If they brought in somebody else, I would say, and I would be a little more skeptical. But because it's somebody who works closely with him and has worked with him for 4 seasons and in the college ranks, I'd rather have him than over anybody else right now that's out there. The other one of the other head coaching, not head coaching, but one of the other coaching changes is obviously one I mentioned. That was Mike McDaniel finally finding a new home as an offensive coordinator for the Chargers. Speaking of Harbaugh's, he's going to be teaming up with Jim Harbaugh, and
which this is a smart move as well because some coordinators, whenever they go to head coaching positions, they typically go to suck. And that was the case with Mike McDaniels that we've seen. I mean, in the last 3 years when he was Miami's head coach, Miami couldn't do absolutely nothing because McDaniels, he just did not know how to run offense and defense. Mike McDaniels has had great success manning the offensive side of the ball. And now he gets that chance to relive that working under such a bona fide head coach in Jim Harbaugh, who, whether people want to see it this way or not, Harbaugh keeps his teams in the games. He keeps the games competitive. And he needs somebody who knows what he is doing, calling just one aspect of an NFL team to really get his gears rolling and ready to go. And that's what Mike McDaniels brings to this Chargers offense because now, after experiencing, I guess you can say, utter disappointment the last 3 seasons with an injury-riddled Miami Dolphins offense, he now has a chance to work with players like Justin Herbert, Omarion Hampton, Ladd McConkey, and so many other Charger players that are trying to find their footing. And this is a really great hire, in my opinion, for Jim Harbaugh to bring Mike McDaniels in to be the OC.
Yeah, I think that, talking about other guys that went from coordinator to head coach that didn't succeed, and that was Josh McDaniels, and he got fired from the Raiders as their head coach a couple of years ago. Then he went back to the team that he won several Super Bowls with as their coordinator, the Patriots, and now look where he's at. He's back in the Super Bowl, as a coordinator. And I think that people that know what they're good at, they should stick to what they're good at, and they don't need to overthink the game of football and trying to be something that they're not, because not everybody can be the head man. I know there's guys out there that probably think and dream one day that I want to be a head coach, but not everybody is meant to carry all those responsibilities, because the head coach is not just calling offensive plays. He's also calling defensive plays. He's also helping out with those plays being called and received and approved and all that. And again, not everybody is meant to be a head coach. That is why there's defensive coordinators. That's why there's offensive coordinators, because they play a vital role in how a team is going to do on the field. And I think that Joe Brady knows his strengths. I think that Mike McDaniels knows his strengths. I think that this is very smart by both guys taking respective jobs, either being head coaches or coordinators again, respectively. And I think for both guys, this is a win-win situation.
Nah. I'm Peter Griffin. Be in the Pro Bowl.
Oh my goodness, look at this guy.
Go away, fat man.
And now here's a guy who should be in the Pro Bowl. What's going on, everybody?
You know what, Kev? If that's the case, anybody can be a head coach.
Fuck it, might as well. I played Madden. Let me be a head coach. Hell, I call some flea flickers in the rain.
Yeah, you actually came on at just the right time, Kev. We were talking about Mike McDaniels being named the Chargers offensive coordinator, and we were
Joe
talking
Brady
about Joe
being
Brady
promoted
being named the head coach
to
of
the
the
head
Bills.
coach. Yep.
So do you have any insight on those two hires?
I do like the Mike McDaniels. About time they got rid of Greg Roman, and I think Jim Harbaugh being a good head coach needs a good coordinator, and I believe Mike McDaniels will do good for the Chargers. And what was the other hire you were talking about?
Joe Brady's going to
Joe
be.
Brady.
Oh yeah, I think that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I mean, with him being in the system, I think it's a pretty good hire.
Well, we're about to tune your programs to tonight on God fucking damn it. We look at the Pittsburgh Steelers hiring Mike McCarthy as their new head coach. And now to elaborate on this is our very own Kevin Rory.
Well, you know what? Speaking of Peter Griffin, that's a good segue to Mike McCarthy out there.
I know where you're going with this too.
No, I ain't got to say no more. He's over there looking like Peter Griffin ordering from Denny's on his play sheet. But hey, Pittsburgh said they're tired of mediocrity. They want to be below mediocrity. So I guess, you know what? Only one thing to make this mediocrity thing work, and that's getting Aaron Rodgers back. Oh, yeah, Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy, folks.
Oh, God, yeah. And you know what? Like, and you know what? While you're at it, if you haven't seen it yet, you need to go check out Urinating Trees video the other day where he did.
Oh my God!
It
Let
is
me say real quick,
hilarious.
I watched that video the other day, and I just about died laughing when he was just sitting on the shower floor, just letting the water run over him.
And those screams that he did, that is going to become the meme of the Pittsburgh Steelers as long as this guy is their head coach. And guess what, guys? He's signed for 5 years.
Oh dear God!
5 years of suckitude.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, enjoy the conference of football hell because it's going to be nice and toasty down there.
Oh, please. Um,
Hey,
they're gonna have a losing season this upcoming season, then fire them.
Hey,
Watch.
it's not
Listen,
nine. It's not 9-8 Super Bowl. It's 7-10 Super Bowl. Yeah. It is going to be bad. The Pittsburgh Steelers are about to endure 10 times level of the pain on the Cleveland scale, and that's saying something.
you
If
know
I
what?
if I if I'm DK Metcalf, I'd be finding a way out right now.
Yeah, he's got to feel pretty fucking stupid. The first year he leaves Seattle, Seattle goes to the Super Bowl, and he's stuck in mediocrity with the Steelers. Good job, DK, freaking idiot. But no, let's be for real though, guys. I mean, as much as I shit on the Dallas Cowboys, they had a roster, and Mike McCarthy literally just burnt them into the ground and continued their clown antics of not doing shit in the playoffs or doing shit in January and February or and December like they've always done, and that has been all on the head coach. Mike McCarthy was an ass in Dallas with arguably a way better roster. I mean, maybe outside the defense, but you had Dak, you had CD. I mean, you had Ezekiel Elliott when he wasn't playing center. I mean, you had a roster, and
You had
giving
Tony
it away.
Pollard. You had Jake Ferguson.
You have Rico Dowdle.
Yes.
I found him.
You had all of this talent, and Mike McCarthy could not do nothing.
yeah, you had Rico Dotto. You pissed him off so bad he had to go to Carolina to get away from you.
Oh my God.
Well, Pittsburgh lost their. Honestly, you can't do much worse than Pittsburgh.
No, you
Well,
cannot.
Bears have
No,
the
you really can't. And speaking of the AFC, and particularly speaking of the AFC North, you really can't do much worse than vote Shadur Sanders into the Pro Bowl, can you?
That's a joke.
Damn
chance.
That is a joke.
I don't know between fucking Shooter Sanders getting into the Pro Bowl and then Bill Belichick not getting voted first ballot All Famer. Which this the how much listen to this. This is from Adam Schefter. Text from an NFL executive. The 10 plus people that didn't vote for Double B should be exposed. What the fuck? This is crazy.
Yeah.
You know it's bad when Shefty's dropping an F-bomb.
No, that wasn't Shefty. That was a text from an NFL executive that told him that.
Oh, wow. Okay, so, yeah.
And what I'll say is that those 10 people, them 10 clowns must have been Atlanta Falcons fans or Peyton Manning fans because ain't no fucking way in hell you don't vote Bill Belichick to the Hall of Fame unless you're one of the above.
Were those 10 people Atlanta Falcons fans because they, blew the 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it was a 28.
Or actually, if you do a little
28-3
bit more
vote.
thinking, though, if you do actually a little bit more thinking into it, those 10 people might have been the ones that approved to do or that didn't vote to ban the tush push last season.
Oh, by the way, I'm also hearing that I'm reading here that apparently what was on the table about that right here about Belichick not getting in? Spygate and Deflategate.
Are you shitting me? We're going to base it
Wow.
off of that when
He wasn't
everybody
even- he
has
wasn't even a driving
used
force behind
advantages
those.
to win.
He wasn't even a driving force behind Spygate or Deflategate.
He wasn't even the reason why that happened.
No. It was
Okay.
it was members of his staff that was
Hold on,
behind
guys.
that.
Hold on,
Okay.
guys. Hey guys, hold on. This is from Ari Meirov from the 3013 Facebook page, and he covers all different sorts of NFL stuff. From the ESPN report, Bill Polian was a vocal figure in the Hall of Fame deliberations involving Bill Belichick, with Spygate, Deflategate coming up among voter discussions. Per a voter who spoke anonymously, Polian, the former Bills and Colts general manager and longtime Patriots rival, told some voters he believed Belichick should wait a year as penance for Spygate.
That
Wow.
shit was next year would be 20 years ago when that went down. The Deflategate was 11 years ago. Are you freaking kidding me? We have seen coaches at times or teams at times have done tactics to win. It happens. So what is this? We're gonna base this now off of baseball's bullshit with the steroid scandals, of not letting uh not letting Bonds and freaking McGuire and Sosa and all these great players that brought baseball back on the map back in the 90s and 2000s that made baseball fun to watch. And this is complete bullshit.
Yeah, here's what I'll say about this. For one, he did all the Super Bowls he ring, all these Super Bowl rings he won. None of them was from the Spygate. Let's just
Nope.
be real. He didn't win the ring that season, so isn't that punishment enough? I mean, Jesus Christ, none of those rings came from Spygate, literally. And also, how about this? Keep that same energy then with Sean Payton and Bountygate. How about
Thank
that?
you. Thank
Guess
you.
what?
That's why I'm so glad the
He
Broncos
won
lost
the
in the
Super Bowl
championship
with
game.
the bounty gate on Brett Favre. So whether he had something to do with it is, I mean, I ain't trying to throw him under the bus. He might have not had nothing to do with it, but still, Belichick didn't either. So what's the difference? Keep the same energy for Sean Payton. That's all I'm saying. And I love Sean Payton, but keep the same energy.
Exactly.
Pauline,
Exactly.
Will Pauline can take his Spygate way to year bullshit, shove it up his geriatric ass, okay?
And
And
again,
it's crazy because Belichick he was the foundation of the typical head coach from 2000 up. Like he was your typical do your job, know your role, do what you're supposed to do and win the football game. Don't be late after curfew. Don't do this. Don't do that. Just be strict. I mean, he was the typical modern head coach that everybody strived to be. That is a damn shame. He went out there and outcoached Tony Dungy for years, and Tony Dungy is arguably a top 5 head coach of all time. And he coached Tony Dungy in circles, and you're not gonna give him a first ballot. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, damn.
the resume speaks for itself how great Belichick is, not only as a great head coach, but as a great coordinator. I mean, he was the defensive, coach for the Giants.
You know it's bad when not only you have JJ Watt, mind you, JJ Watt is a TV analyst, but you have Patrick Mahomes speaking out about it, saying that it isn't right.
Oh no, it's not. And I'll give you one better than this. We all consider, and I know some people don't, but a lot of people consider Tom Brady to go, right? Yeah, okay, cool.
Right.
Here's the thing. You can arguably say that the first 4 rings that all that Belichick and Brady won came from Belichick's defense. Belichick's defense. Not Tom Brady's arms. Yes, he managed the game. This is where we do the game manager, game changer, blah, blah, blah. But Belichick has never coached a bad Patriot defense. Never. Until the last, when Brady left and that roster went to shit because Robert Kraft just didn't want to open the checkbook. He has never, up until 2018, had a bad New England Patriots defense. Not one time. They were always great when they needed to be, and that come from who? Bill Belichick.
Think about this. In the Super Bowl 11 years ago when the Patriots took on the Seahawks, when Belichick saw the formation that Seattle was in, what did he say? 3 corners, Malcolm, go. And Butler went out there on the formation, saw what they were doing, and read the play like a textbook and picked off the pass. If you don't have Belichick there coaching, Seattle's probably winning that game.
Yep, definitely. I mean, they could have won the game anyway if they just ran the fucking ball.
Exactly.
But that's their fuck up. But you can't take away what Belichick did. And you know what? Belichick, as many students that have been coming through and coaching under Belichick, he has got 1,000,000 people coordinator and head coaching jobs. I mean, you look at a bunch of them guys went to Notre Dame that one year to be offensive or be the head coach. Plenty of defensive guys came out from under Belichick and been the head coach of the
Matt Patricia.
I mean, Josh McDaniels bum ass. He even made Josh McDaniels bum ass look good and go to Vegas and then turn around and be dog shit.
I can't think of his name, but the guy that was the defensive coordinator back in 2003, 2004.
Romeo
Crennel.
Cordell, yep, he
Cornell.
went to the
Yep.
Houston Texans,
Yep.
all because of Belichick. And
Yep.
and guess what? Super Bowl coach that's coaching for the AFC this in 2 weeks come from who? Bill Belichick. Mike Vrabel was under Belichick. Mike Vrabel played for Bill Belichick.
Josh McDaniels, coach for Belichick during those last couple of championships that he won.
Yeah, and he sucks when he goes to the Raiders, so he had to come back.
Because he knows what he's good at. And he's under the same tree that he was with Vrabel. So it makes sense.
Yep.
This is the thing that bothers me is that you have these people that are biased. Let's call it like it is. That are biased against these coaches, against these players that are great. And they can't respect the greatness that is in front of them. Because whether you like it or not, no matter what sport it is, greatness for the most part prevails in a lot of different ways. You may not like it, but you're going to respect it. And look at Patrick Mahomes. He's had success in his career. He went through a growing pain against the Patriots in 2018-19 when they lost in that AFC Championship game against the Patriots in overtime 31 or 38-31. And even Mahomes knows how great Belichick is. You got to be a freaking moron and delusional from planet delusional that is to not respect the greatness of Bill Belichick and what he's done in this sport.
Yeah, he's got to be the same people who voted Shadur Sanders in the Pro Bowl that must have kept Belichick out.
Bunch of idiots.
I mean, looking at it, dude, you can look at other great coaches. Andy Reid, for prime example, it took him years, decades to win a decade to win his first Super Bowl. He was a great head coach. He had a bunch of talented Philadelphia Eagles teams, but guess what? Ran into a buzzsaw and Bill Belichick every time and knocked out. And then, I mean, it took him until he went to Kansas City, changed the scenery, and drafted the best quarterback walking God's green earth to win a Super Bowl. And he's a great head coach. Belichick did it with like Brady's first year. Like he did it early before 2000 and just kept winning and winning and winning and winning. And he is the reason Peyton Manning does not have nothing but 2 championship rings. Let's call it what it is. I mean,
exactly.
he literally kept Peyton from being the
He's
great.
the reason why Ben Roethlisberger only has 2 championships to his name.
Because this was like Belichick was like the Phil Jackson Lakers or the Greg Popovich Spurs. Like they were the reason, or the 17 Warriors, like that decade's Warriors. Like they're the reason LeBron James is 3-6 in the finals. The same way Belichick is the reason Peyton Manning and all them quarterbacks don't get rings like that. It's because of Bill Belichick.
Another example, 91 through 93, or 91 through 95 and 96 through 98 Bulls.
Yep. Exactly right.
Yeah, those 2.
Karl Malone and John Stockton, 2 great Hall of Fame basketball players, no rings. Why? MJ.
And guess what? All them, Phil Jackson's the first ballot coach. Greg Popovich the first ballot coach. So why the fuck ain't Bill Belichick a first ballot
Exactly.
coach? That's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, that it's just a ridiculous thing. But we mentioned about Shadur Sanders getting into the Pro Bowl. Like it's dumb. There's so many other quarterbacks that could have gone before him. Who knows how many of them turned it down and didn't want to do it.
And that's where I was saying I want to find out. Like I want somebody to release who really got the invite first and who turned it down, because if you come out and say, yeah, we invited Trevor Lawrence, but Trevor Lawrence decided not to take extra time off to let his body heal, okay, cool. I'd be fine with that. If you go out and say that, then, but if you go out and just, like the media likes to spin shit like, oh, Shadur Sanders, a rookie, 5th-round Pro Bowler. Oh, my God, he's done so amazing. He's 7 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. What are you talking about? I mean, it's ridiculous. And you know what? I should have known the Pro Bowl's a joke. Tyler Huntley was voted in the Pro Bowl a couple years ago. Tyler fucking Huntley. A backup quarterback was in the Pro Bowl. I think at this point, the Pro Bowl does not mean shit. Used to when it was played in Hawaii, it used to mean stuff. It used to mean shit. Because
Kevin, this is something that I think is the thing. As we know, flag football is now an Olympic sport. It will be in 2028 at the Olympics. The major event during the Pro Bowl is usually a regular football game, pads on, hits. This time, it's going to be a flag football matchup. Obviously, this is to showcase what flag football would look like if it were in the Olympic Games on a larger scale. And that's exactly what the NFL is doing because they know that for this to remain an Olympic sport going forward, they have to showcase their top talent doing playing this game and playing it efficiently and well. So I think that's what it is. It's all about showing the IOC that, hey, this could be an Olympic sport going forward, not just for 1 year in LA. I think that's the reason why they did it this way this year instead of doing the flag football competition.
Well, I get that, but for this year, I believe the momentum of the Pro Bowl was changing since the mid 2000s or
Yeah.
2010s because even when they still had the pads on, nobody wanted to hit. They just stood up like a bunch of damn tackling dummies, just joking. Back then, I used to watch the Pro Bowl when it meant something. When you could fly your family out to Hawaii, have a little vacation during Pro Bowl week, actually play in the Pro Bowl. I witnessed Sean Taylor take out a fucking punter, look like it was on for the NFC Championship. Like he took the punter and knocked the fuck out of him in a Pro Bowl game. You won't never see that now. Even with the pads on, nobody's even hitting. They're barely doing any two-hand touch. They look like they're at practice on a light day with just pads and shorts. Like nobody goes to the ground, just wrap up and be done. No hitting. And I believe the NFL started seeing that as they moved away toward this flag football thing. And of course, like you said, the flag football is coming to an Olympic sport. But between that and I believe there are a lot of players who turned that down because I mean, you got a chance to get a longer off season. I mean, why not take it? I mean, you got a chance to get an extra 3 or 4 weeks with your family, especially guys who are nonstop in playoff football every year. Like, why not take the extra time off? So a lot of players declined based off of that.
Yeah, because I know Quingon Mitchell's pulled himself out of the Pro Bowl this year, and Nashawn Wright from Chicago is now going to get in as the fourth Bears Pro Bowler.
Yep, and I see that because Mitchell last year played all the way until February. It was in the Super Bowl, and now this year he got bounced early. So guess what? That's an extra 3 weeks of time he can really spend rehabbing his body. I mean, spending time with his family if he got kids. I mean, who wouldn't take that opportunity? Like, oh, it's cool you voted me in the Pro Bowl. I just don't want to participate.
And
Fuck
and,
it.
and Nashawn lives in California anyways when he's not in Chicago, so it makes
Yeah,
perfect
it
sense for
worked
him.
out good.
Yeah, it works out good for him because he don't have to go far. All he has to do is maybe go a couple hours north or south, depending on where he is, and get in a Pro Bowl, invite his family, and have some fun.
If they're leaning that way, though, I just wish one thing. This last thing I'll say about it. I wish the NFL would stop throwing the Pro Bowl as like it's such a big accolade. Like, oh, that's a 4-time Pro Bowl. No, I want to see the All Pros because the All Pros is voted on by the coaches and the players in around the league who know, yeah, that's a damn good motherfucker right there. He can play his ass off. Not voted for by the fans because he's popular. This is a guy who's voted by 32 coaches in the NFL. Like, yeah, that's the best running back in the game. Yeah, that's the best quarterback this year. So I really wish they would just use the All Pro or as the accolade, first team All Pro, second team All Pro, not the Pro Bowl.
Also, one thing too. What's up?
There was just an echo. Go ahead.
Oh, hello. How are you? How are you? The Jets are parting ways with their offensive coordinator Tanner Engstrand. He should have parted ways with Eric Glenn as well.
They should have parted ways with the whole organization. Just get on a jet and fly to South Arabia or something. Saudi Arabia.
Maybe the Jets players are the ones building the custom stadium for WWE.
Oh my, yeah,
But
our
they
season sucks, so we're gonna build a stadium.
They gave us early. He said, "Fuck that! Fuck that! We'll make extra money. We'll go build a fucking custom stadium for WWE for the Royal Rumble."
Hey, they got plenty of time too because they ain't smelled January football in about 20 years.
And he ain't gonna smell it now. Also too, it also was announced today that the Titans are set to hire Brian Dable as their offensive coordinator.
I like that move.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Robert Saleh, there's one thing I was worried about is by him being a defensive guy is who are they going to get on the offensive side of the ball to develop Cam Ward? And to be honest, with all the choices, if you couldn't get Mike McDaniel, obviously because he chose the Chargers, I believe Dayball's a good second option because he did develop Josh Allen. He was in there developing Josh Allen when he was a young buck back with Buffalo. Like he was there for the glow up. And same with even as bad as the Giants are after they lost Saquon, that first year he won head coach of the year and they gave Minnesota in the divisional round hell and ended up making the divisional against Philadelphia. So I like Dayball as an offensive mind to help Cam Ward grow. Now let's see what this GM does this offseason. You got $120 million in cap. I mean, I know nobody wants to really go to Nashville. I mean, it's not a desirable location, especially when you're not winning. Let's see if they can draft well, get Cam some weapons, and let Dayball work, and let Robert Sala worry about the defense. Let's see how that works.
Yeah. Another name that was out there was Bears offensive coordinator Declan Doyle. He was looking to possibly, or he was, but the Eagles were looking to possibly get him for the new offensive coordinator position. But as of 2 days ago, he withdrew from the position as he wants to stay in Chicago with Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, and company.
Can't be mad about that.
I'm
Same
definitely
way with the Kubiaks as well. Clint Kubiak, 49ers offensive coordinator, withdrew his name from any offensive coordinator and head coach vacancies, as well as Seahawks offensive coordinator, his brother, Clay Kubiak. Will
and I
not be
know
taking any head coaching opportunities.
and I know Brian Flores is right now, while he's still in the running for certain areas, he's right now it looks like he's going to stick with the Vikings, unless the Vikings don't give him an agreement or something to stick around, he might go somewhere else. But as of now, he looks like he's going to stick with the Vikings for the foreseeable future. So that's where we're looking at. Also,
That's the guy I was surprised that Buffalo didn't go after was Flores.
That's what I would have picked. I would have picked Brian Flores to go to Buffalo. Hell, even Pittsburgh. I would have liked him to go because I think Flores has got a good mind, and I think he's really, really. He tried to do his best with with the people he had, but man, but when he did good, he did good.
Well, Flores did sign an extension with the Minnesota Vikings, but the terms of the contract were saying that if he finds a head coaching job, he's more than likely going to leave. But as of right now, he did sign an extension with the Vikings.
Okay, all right.
There's another name too with this head coaching thing swirling, and he could leave as well. Jim Schwartz for the Browns said if he
Oh wow!
does not get the head coaching job for the Browns, I think there were two teams looking at him as their defensive coordinator, and one is Buffalo and the other is San Francisco. Looking at
Oh
Jim
wow!
if he
I
doesn't
like
get the head
that.
coach for the Browns because he has always had a hellacious defense. And he was a head coach before, but he went back to studying, getting in the coordinator spot for a while, and let's see if he gets another crack at it.
Yeah,
Broncos.
well,
And see if he can win it.
there is another name that has been around that saw just a little bit ago, and apparently he interviewed for the Arizona Cardinals head coaching job, and that, of course, is former Carolina and Washington head man Ron Rivera.
Ooh.
Interesting.
I don't think the Cardinals is a very desirable head coaching vacancy because of the division. I mean, you got to play San Francisco, Seattle, and LA twice a year. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Especially at this stage of the game with how good those teams are.
Yeah.
And they're only going to get better from here, and especially when the 49ers are healthy again and they got everybody back, especially Fred Warner, especially you get a fully healthy George Kittle, fully healthy Ricky Pearsall. You get those guys back, it's going to be absolutely tremendous to see who could tangle with them in that division because it's going to be a rough go.
Yeah, especially when you look at like if you're a head coach of the Cardinals, you're going into a division where you're gonna automatically be the worst head coach in division because you can make the argument that Shanahan, McVay, and McDonald are three of the top six head coaches in football right now. I mean, that's just. I mean, you the pressure's already going to be on whoever takes that head coach vacancy. Then there's not a quarterback because of the rumors are true, Kyler Murray will be gone in the offseason after a June 1st post trade or post June 1st cut or trade, and yeah.
And also the Cardinals better be glad they ain't got to face the Chicago Bears either, or in some sort of any sort of capacity, because with the way it's looking as far as the Bears, I mean, all they got to do, like I said, all they really got to do is, they've got the receivers, they got the running backs, they got a pretty solid defense. All they really need to me is an edge rusher to help get to the quarterback, get somebody who can get off the edge and really pressure quarterback, because we have great corners, but the problem is we have nobody like a Max Crosby or a Micah Parsons or somebody who could get, or a Miles Garrett, like a Miles Garrett who could get to that edge and make that quarterback fucking think twice before having to throw the ball.
Right.
That's something I think the Bears will look at in the draft and maybe a free agency as well. We'll see what happens. But back to this, the Broncos decided instead of hiring people, they were going to clean house. And they have fired offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi, wide receivers coach Kerry Colbert, and cornerbacks coach Addison Lynch.
Ouch.
Yeah, not a good day for the Broncos.
Yeah, very interesting because we didn't see a football game on Sunday at 3 p.m. in the AFC Championship.
No,
We saw a freaking baseball game.
this is bad.
It looked like the White Sox playing the fucking. It looked like the White Sox playing the Royals.
Yeah, I'm so glad the NFC game came on at 6 o'clock and not that game. Holy shit.
Yeah, that game was bad.
Yeah, we'll get more into that in just a little bit.
The weather didn't help a little. The weather didn't help either. Let's be honest. It was nice. It was just cold. Then all of a sudden, by fucking 3 minutes into the third quarter, it's a fucking blizzard.
Yeah,
It was so bad you couldn't even see the damn field.
I was watching the game. I was like, well, maybe the Broncos can make something happen. And what does Jared Stidham pull out of his bag of tricks? He looks like he's morphing as a damn Power Ranger, throwing the ball with both hands on a 2-yard pass that went nowhere. I cut it off.
No. Stop.
I want to watch a movie. This game
Here's the main question I have about that game.
Go.
Broncos were up 7-0. They had the opportunity to go up 10-0, but it was a 4th and 1. And I'm like, Peyton, why not go for the 3 points? Why? I don't understand why he did not go for the 3 points instead of wanting to get the 7.
Because he's stupid!
Despite the conditions already being as bad as they were.
And he ultimately paid for it.
Yeah.
And actually, Will Lutz went on publicly in the media and actually criticized that play.
And not to mention,
yes,
and not to mention, yes, the snow was involved, but we had, if I'm not mistaken, like 4 missed field goals.
Yep.
Yeah.
4 missed field goals. It was Will Lutz and whatever the name of the kicker is in fucking New England.
Yeah, well, it was like trying to watch Shaq shoot free throws at the free throw line.
Like watching Dwight Howard shoot free throws.
It was awful, but I will say this:
that was like trying to watch Luka play defense.
Oh,
oof!
Oh, damn!
That's right.
Oof.
That's more up to the Steelers' hiring ability.
Oof.
Yeah, I went on Indeed. I got a job application. I got a job interview for the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive coordinator next week. Oh, and I got a Royal Rumble entrant too. Boy, Indeed.
Oh God.
Indeed to do magical things.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
But in order to step into the ring at the Royal Rumble cabin, you got to recover from that hip injury that you suffered on the ice.
Oh yeah, that I can in fact concur. I can in fact admit that was ice. That was not snow. That was not what. That was straight ice that I busted my ass on.
To be honest, I'd rather have ice than the 10 inches of snow we got fucking hit with up here.
Yeah, I don't want any of that shit. I tried
we dug ourselves out 3 different times in 3 days. Fuck.
Damn.
Well, we may be coming down with about 5 to 8 inches of snow this weekend down here in the Carolinas. So
Well, I
Yeah,
can walk in
go
snow. I
ahead.
can't walk on ice. I busted my ass like I was damn. God, I busted my ass. I might be out 8 to 10 weeks. Hey, they better be lucky I'm not Anthony Davis. My career will be over
Hey,
with.
you better be lucky in with the 49ers.
Hey, I blend in perfectly with them then.
I'm about to break out the blue tent.
Hey, the blue tent's questionable return. I don't know. I think I shared that day we played Philadelphia.
Yep.
Blue tent was broke. Someone said my buddy said questionable. The blue tent is questionable return with an injury. But no, talking about the Patriots, man, I got to be honest, dude. I mean, I
49.
love Drake May. I watched him whoop Richmond's ass. I watched him dominate in North Carolina, Charlotte native. I'm pulling for him. I love Drake May. I love his game. He's a top tier quarterback. He's an elite quarterback. He will be an elite quarterback. The problem is the rest of the offense is pretty much to have to be desired. They have no true number one receiver. They don't really have a rushing attack. They're winning games by the hair of their chin. I don't never want to criticize the team schedule, but they have the easiest schedule in football. They played a bunch of bums. And then in the playoffs, you played the Chargers with no offensive line. You got Justin Herbert damn put in the ICU. If that was Tua, he'd been dead by now. I mean,
Oof.
then you play Houston, who you're playing 12 on 10 football because CJ Stroud has a low key New England Patriots jersey on and literally wasted that defense away, the Patriots.
and
Then you
then you
go
play
play
and then you play the
Broncos
Broncos in the AFC Championship game with Bo Nix on the sidelines.
with no quarterback in a blizzard. And now you're going to get a dose of reality because you're about to play a team that just knocked out two of the best offenses in football in the Seattle Seahawks, who literally beat the 49ers offense, stifled them, and then beat the Rams offense and stifled them. And I mean, I
Yeah, that's why
fucked.
that's why I will go ahead and say I'm not gonna trust Sam Darnold in the Super Bowl game, but that defense is gonna be hard to look past. That defense is gonna be hungry. That defense is gonna be ready to freaking rock Drake
And,
May's
and
butt.
and that's the thing is that the one thing that drove me nuts with this game is the conditions, were not the greatest, but man, I mean, Drake May had to rely on his legs to give them a shot to win that game. And the defense for the Patriots, hung in there. But you're facing a backup quarterback that, made his first start in a couple years. And during the first half, Stedman, played pretty good, and he made some throws in there, But then as the game wore on, he was missing passes. He was late on throws. Receivers weren't timing with him on the routes, and that interception, I was like taking candy from a baby. Like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like,
Well,
that was
the
bad.
the Patriots need to get their shit together because even we can say that Sam Darnold's better than Jared Stidham. As much as we say we don't trust Sam Darnold, he is way better than Stidham, and it's
Way
not going
better.
to be a snowstorm in Santa Clara. And honestly, Seattle, if their offense plays like they did against the Rams, that's the best overall team in football. I mean, that means Sam Darnold has to play above his talent level, but he did against the Rams. I will say that. And the Patriots, they don't have the receivers to threaten Seattle's DBs. And that's what I told people when the 49ers played Seattle. I said they give us fits. Why? We don't have no receivers to threaten deep downfield. Neither do the Patriots. They got a 50-year-old Stephon Diggs with one leg out there running routes, and Kayshawn Booty, who's good, but he's not gonna burn the Seattle's defense. Witherspoon and Emanore, he's not gonna beat them. I mean, Seattle's going to sit there and cheat and play the run and play Drake May's leg. If the Patriots have a chance at this game in the world, Drake May's going to have to play like Josh Allen. He's going to have to run the ball. He's going to have to use his legs because throwing it ain't going to be good against Seattle.
And not only that, but the weapons on offense for the Seahawks. Good luck guarding that. I mean, Walker at running back is a beast.
Yeah,
And
And
I
J
mean,
and JSN, Jesus Christ! I mean, that dude He can run routes on the outside, the inside, the slot. He can line up in the backfield. Like JSN is one of the most complete receivers in the NFL today.
More worried about the Patriots offense than I am the defense. I got to be honest. Their defense has proved they're legit. Like Christian Gonzalez he is an elite corner. Like I believe Gonzalez can slow down JSN. Not he ain't gonna have 200 yards against them, but I think he can kind of keep them in check. I believe their defense. Mike Vrabel's always gonna have a good defense. I believe the Patriots defense 100%. I just, as surprising as it sounds, I trust Seattle's coordinator Clint Kubiak or Clay Kubiak and their weapons more than I trust Drake May's weapons. It ain't about Sam Darnold. It's about I trust Kenneth Walker and JSN and Cooper Kupp, who's already been in the Super Bowl, who's already won MVP in the Super Bowl. I trust Cooper Kupp and them boys to get it done.
And not only that, but looking at what Seattle had to deal with on Sunday, you're having to match Matthew Stafford, who probably is going to be named the MVP next week at the NFL Honors, throwing 46 TDs, having to match up with him and Puka Nacua, and got to give Darnold credit. He threw stripe for stripe with Stafford. He did.
He actually
hung in there.
He threw some dots. I will give him credit, but I also will give the scheme credit. Clint Kubiak running the offense, the Shanahan type offense, like he makes it easy on Darnold. He's basically using Sam Darnold like how we use Jimmy G. Like you got to let the system come to him, and that's what they did. They let the system go to Darnold and made it easy on Darnold, and Darnold threw dots. And I mean, I don't believe it'll be that easy against the Patriots. Let me just say that. Their defense is way better than Rams. I told Joey this weeks ago, about a couple months ago. I said, hey, the Rams did have a good defense, but they've regressed. Their whole entire their back seven is awful. Their front four with Braden Frisk and Jared Verse and all them guys, they're good. They're good. It's just
that back seven is
is god awful. And I mean that they're awful. Their linebackers look lost. And if you got bad linebackers, an offense like the Seahawks, who under the Shanahan offense, they will expose your linebackers. The Shanahan offense is meant to put your linebackers in conflict. And when your linebackers are in conflict and they don't know how to react, it's gonna make for a long day.
And think about that. There was a particular play during that NFC Championship game where Darnold's backed up and he throws the ball down the field to JSN, who looks like he's going one way, then he completely goes the other way, and he fooled the Rams defense and caught that pass for about a 40-some odd yard gain a couple of times. And that is just the genius of Kubiak as their coordinator. Making it look like it's going to be one formation, then he runs the completely different formation. And I got to give Darnold a lot of credit too, because again, coming out of college, he had a lot of talent, a lot of potential to be something. But what drug him down into the bottom pits of the abyss was not having coaching. And coaching is very important, not just head coaching, but offensive coordinating. That's also very important. And I think it took years for Darnold to find his confidence. And I tell you who started that. That was Kevin McConnell. Kevin McConnell gave Darnold his confidence that he could be successful. And then who would have thought you traded away that bum in Geno Smith, who's inconsistent, and you get Darnold. And now look where Darnold's at. He's in the Super Bowl.
I will say this. Here's what they all have in common about Darnold. Darnold literally has been in the Shanahan system for the last three teams. Think about it. It really started when he was in San Francisco, when he was backing up Brock Purdy in that Super Bowl run. He was sitting, learning. He was sitting and learning the offense. Like he was sitting there watching how Shanahan and Purdy operated. He learned it. And then he took what he learned into Minnesota. Same system. Same. Kevin McConnell runs the Shanahan West Coast offense. He took what he learned and dominated. Looked good in the regular season. Still had his playoff. Still choked in the playoffs, but he looked good. Carry it on to this year in the Seattle system. He's had a couple games this year where you shake your head, but for the most part, he took what he knew and kept adding on to it. And that's where he comes in the playoffs. Even against us, he didn't throw for a bunch. He managed the game against the 49ers because he knew, hey, my running game's working, my defense holding shit down. I ain't got to do too much. I'm not
And
playing hero ball, and that's all he has to keep in mind. Don't play hero ball. Don't go out there on 3rd and 15 and I'm about to just heave shit up and just throw it. No, just slow down, make the right read. JSN's an all-world talent. Can't no corner.
and Shaheed, think about that guy. Look what he's done.
Buck. Cooper Cup has still got one of the most reliable hands in football, and just depend on your weapons. Just trust your eyes, and that's all Sam Darnold has done. And as much as I hate Seattle, I really believe. I don't believe the Super Bowl will be close. As much I love Drake May, I want Drake May to win. I just don't see it. If Seattle plays the way they're going to play, I think this is a 10-point win for Seattle. I really do. And honestly, as a 49er fan, I seen a meme the other day, and I got to get off in a few minutes, but the meme said that 49ers, when they realized Seattle's about to win the Super Bowl, they cut the volume up on the EMFs, causing more injuries from that substation that's right across the damn road from the damn stadium. But no, for real though, I think Sam Darnold's had a great comeback story. I got nothing but respect for him. As much as I don't still trust him, he's proved us wrong. I mean, so far.
He's got one more game.
If
and
he can win it, then he proved everybody wrong. And we all owe him an apology.
And we're going to make our predictions on that next week. And, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens, because got to give Darnold a lot of credit, because he hung in. And that game was great. Stafford and Darnold both just throwing darts and letting it rip. No interceptions across the board for both quarterbacks. But if there's one thing I'm going to be, a little critical of the Rams, what the hell is McVay going for on 4th down in the red zone with 5.5 minutes to go in that game, knowing you're down by 4 and you have 3 timeouts? Take the damn points.
Here's my thing, and I'll say this, and I got to get off real quick. Sean McVay, I don't even criticize the decision. His defense was so bad in that game, he would not get off the field. I don't believe, even with the 3 timeouts, Seattle would have just got first down after first down.
And I think, and also at the same time, I see why he did that. Even though I would have taken the points, but I understand he didn't trust his defense. He didn't trust his defense at all, because they couldn't stop anybody.
The first down, they chewed through the clock.
Yep.
So even the points, they didn't get the stop they needed.
And then when they got the ball back, they had very little time to do anything, because he wasted all of his timeouts.
Yep. That's just probably should have challenged that 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1 to that Cup barely got over the line. Could have probably had a case there, but
yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously next week we are going to be giving our Super Bowl predictions on who we think is going to win the big game. I can't wait for that. That's going to be a good fun show, of course. And also next week, to add a little spice and flair, we're going to be doing our top 5 sports moments of 2025.
We've been putting this off for a long time, but finally we're going to get it done. And then following the NFL season's conclusion, we are gonna do our top 5 favorite games throughout the NFL season, whether it be regular season, postseason, and depending upon how this goes, the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. These shows will be. Let's see what else, if anything. I mean,
UFC.
Let's quickly get into UFC 324. Good pay-per-view overall. I thought it was a good show. I went back and watched the rest. Good main event between Patty Pimblett and Justin Gaethje. Gaethje, of course, coming out the winner in the new.
That was a hell of a fight. What's his face? Commentator. Not Rogan.
John Anik.
No.
Daniel Cormier.
Cormier. DC. Yeah, DC said it best. He said Cormier said that if the rest of this card sucked, if this main event delivered and that was the only good fight, this was worth it, because that main event was so good. It was so competitive. Both fighters just throwing haymakers left and right. I mean, it was a back and forth fight. There was a couple of times where you thought Patty was going to take it, and then Gaethje, retaliated and he took command. Just it was a really good fight. Both fighters were very competitive. And just again, this was really cool. UFC's debut on Paramount Plus. And thank God I don't have to pay for those damn $80 pay-per-view prices anymore.
Hey guys, I'm about to hop off here, fellas.
All right, dude. Great job,
It,
dude.
it was it was good being on the show. Hopefully, I'll be back next week to talk
All right,
about
man.
Super Bowl.
All
But,
right, dude.
all right, y'all be good. Everybody
Yep.
be safe this week.
Yep.
All right.
Oh my God, that name is great.
Yeah. And then, of course, we had a good by the way, that was the interim UFC Bantamweight Championship that was on the line. And so Gaethje won, and he's now the current interim champ. We also had a bantamweight bout with Sugar Sean O'Malley taking on Song Young Dong. He won by unanimous decision.
And finally, he got in the winning column after a couple of years of losing.
Absolutely. And then you had Waldo Cortez Acosta knocking out Derek Lewis, the Beast, in a nice heavyweight bout. And funny commercial synergy for Paramount. While Acosta was walking to the ring, he had an unlikely member of his crew, and that being the most dangerous person, shall we say, out of Woodsboro, and that being Ghostface, the serial killer from the movie Scream. He was right behind him, creeping behind him, looking around. And as promotion, because Paramount is also the film company that is releasing Scream 7, which will be out in late February in theaters. So, which is pretty cool, nice synergy there, and good promotion to promote the movie. So, that was cool to see as well. Rose Namajunas unfortunately lost a unanimous decision flyweight bout against Natalia Silva. And then John Silva beat Arnold Allen on the main card. So, and there was many, many other great fights, but those are the main ones. In a very good card. But the next one is and that's UFC 325. And the main event of that one is a featherweight championship bout. The Volt, Alexander Volkanovski, will defend against Diego Lopez. And also, of course, Alexander Volkanovski, one of the stars of, I believe it is, Street Fighter.
Yep.
The new Street Fighter movie that also features, of course, Cody Rhodes and the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. So he's going to be defending his featherweight title against Diego Lopez. Also, in a lightweight bout, Dan Hooker will take on Benoit Saint Denis. Rafael Fiziev will take on Mauricio Ruffi. Tai Tovasta will take on Talisan Teixeira. And Quilin Sakil will take on Jamie Malarkey. And those are your main card bouts. Also, Cody Brundage is on the card. Jacob Malcone and in other undercard preliminary bouts. Those will be in all those fights. Will be on, of course, Paramount Plus. So definitely check that out. As far as that goes. Also, we have some news in the world of Major League Baseball. So let's get into it. So it was announced today that two members of the Astros will not be playing in the World Baseball Classic, which will be coming up. Those two are Houston Astros stars Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa. Those two did unfortunately fail to get insurance on their contracts for the event. And since they did not, it would be too much of a risk for them to get injured in the World Baseball Classic and to be out for spring training or even worse. And of course, MLB player safety is always the first, so they're definitely not going to risk their players' financial or their physical well-being on a game like that. So, even though it means a lot to the country that these two play for, which is Puerto Rico, it's an unfortunate because that's part of their MLB contracts. They can't be doing stuff like that because of the financial risk would be too high. Also, Twins and right-handed pitcher Joe Ryan have agreed to a $6.2 million deal to avoid arbitration. Ryan gets $6.1 million this year, the midway point of the $6.35 million he had asked for, and the $5.85 million the Twins had offered when the sides exchanged arbitration salaries on January 8th. The deal includes a $13 million mutual option for 2027 with a $100,000 buyout. So those are the main. Oh, right here's another one. Freddie Peralta says that he is willing to consider a multi-year contract with the New York Mets before reaching free agency. So there's a possibility that may happen. So we're going to keep an eye on that as well. I'm trying to think anything else major that happened. Oh yeah, obviously with the Pro Bowl this weekend, or not this weekend, but the Pro Bowl next week, it was announced for the Super Bowl that for the first time ever, that the Olympic Games, the Winter Olympic Games, and was it? Trying to think here. The Olympic Games and the Super Bowl will both be broadcast in 4K HDR on NBC and Peacock networks. So if you have any of those, if you have NBC on your streaming device or cable, or if you have Peacock, there you go, 4K HDR for both the Winter Olympics and the Super Bowl.
Very cool.
I'm trying to think of anything else major that happened this past week. I mean, obviously we know we've had some coaching options and all that stuff. Obviously, by the way, UFC 325 will be taking place at its usual time. The main card starts at 9 p.m. starts at 10 p.m. Eastern on Paramount Plus, which of course will be around 8 hours earlier than the start of the Royal Rumble, which will take place that very same day from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
So it's going to be a very full-plated day on Saturday with the Rumble as well as UFC 325. But as always, we managed to keep it that way. And I know the Royal Rumble stuff is going to be covered on the Nation's Corner. If they do an early show this week, the show will take place after the Rumble is over. So, I mean, obviously they'll talk about it. So we're not going to get too deep into it, but should be a good show. Overall, good show. We'll see what happens. I think
we touched on the McCarthy story going to the Steelers. I mean, they experienced 19 years with Mike Tomlin as their head coach, over 500 record, and they're about to experience a nightmare.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough go. I have a feeling.
I mean, just a bad move, a very bad move by Pittsburgh.
Let me see here what I could pull up real quick to give us a quick discussion on. Development in Atlanta. Right here. Bears assistant GM Ian Cunningham will do a second in-person interview for the Atlanta Falcons general manager job this week. Cunningham was also a finalist for the president of the football job that eventually went to Matt Ryan.
Interesting.
I don't know how big of a fit that would be, or how good of a fit that would be with Ian Cunningham. I'm not too familiar with him, but obviously that's more office stuff than anything, so it's kind of out of our
Matt Ryan, I do think, was the right hire.
Yeah. By the way, Jaguars offensive coordinator Grant Udinsky has informed the Browns that he's removing himself for the consideration for head coach. He has a new deal in place with Jacksonville that'll bump his pay for the next season, but the Jaguars are allowing him to continue pursuing the Bills' head coaching job. If he doesn't get the Buffalo job, he will be back as the Jaguars' offensive coordinator. So far, we got left so far is Jim Schwartz, like you said, Nate Skilhaus, who is the Rams passing game coordinator, Commanders run game coordinator Anthony Lynn, and former Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken. But also that includes now Joe Lombardi, the offensive coordinator for
Yep.
for Denver, who just was released today. So we got to talk about this. Okay, the NFL in the beginning of the season, at the very beginning, posted in a photo. I don't know if it's AI generated or if they did it. I don't know. I don't care. I don't know who did it, but the photo is some of the best players from the 32 teams. It's got everybody from Caleb Williams to Saquon Barkley to Jalen Hurts and all these things. The two people up in the very front of the poster, those two people were Sam Darnold and Drake May.
Holy shit!
They were up at the very front of the poster.
And this was early on in the season?
This is before the season even started.
What the hell? Are you serious?
Nope, not even joking.
Wow. Wow. That is so funny. And those are the final two teams that are standing.
Yep.
Wow. Interesting.
Yep. But the only problem is this goes with Marx's writing the NFL script.
Yep.
He'll never shut up about that. Love you, Marx. But what about this? The Packers hiring Jonathan Gannon as their defensive coordinator.
He can go suck with them too.
Yeah, he went from being a bird head to a cheesehead. He went from being Birdman to a cheesehead.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. Bo Nix is expected to be sidelined for 12 weeks.
Well, at least he'll be back in time for the regular season.
Yep.
What a crushing defeat for that young man. I mean, he had a great game a week ago, and then he's forced to miss the championship game for his Broncos. And man, the fact that you were one game away from the Super Bowl, like, he's going to come back determined.
Former Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith has finalized the deal to become the next offensive coordinator at Ohio State.
Yep.
He is leaving the NFL ranks and heading to the college ranks. Dolphins promoted Bobby Slowick to the offensive coordinator spot. Let's see what else we can get into real quick before we have to. Let's see. I got to talk about, as we saw in the Patriots game, we saw that Matt Collins was brought back because he was, or was taken off of IR from dealing with an injury.
Yeah.
We know this man is one crazy son of a bitch. He comes into the arena every day barefoot. Doesn't matter if it's snowing, raining, the world's ending, he comes in bare feet. The man came in bare feet, dressed as Luther from the Warriors, with the bottles in his hands going, "Warriors, come out to play." Into the stadium and on the field when the game was over. And mind you, he did warm-ups barefoot out in the field.
That is insane.
I'm telling you, the guy is not right in the head. The man is not right in the head.
It could be snowing. A blizzard. Doesn't matter.
You don't care.
Crazy dude. Crazy. Crazy.
Also, the Dolphins are hiring Chris Tabor as the new special teams coordinator.
Well, we'll see if their special teams will be better than it was last year.
Oh, don't even get me started on that.
Wasn't so special.
let's see here. I think that's mainly. Oh yeah, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the Bills head coaching position and Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers withdrew from the head coaching position recently as he wants to stick with coaching, his sons, his kids, for high school football and wants to be around there. But here's the crazy thing: this is the first time ever that Philip Rivers has actually pulled out.
Yep,
So, yeah, just nuts.
literally.
Okay, I wasn't going that far, but okay, you went that far. And of course now with the announcement that that Eric Bieniemy will be returning to Kansas City to be their offensive coordinator, Matt Nagy is officially out of a job.
Hey, what if he goes to be the Raiders' next head coach?
Good. Take the Bears old garbage. See how that works for you.
Ah,
Oh wait. There is one thing we got to mention. This wasn't did we forget about this? Hold on. Yeah, we did. Baltimore Ravens. They
Yep.
hired the former defensive coordinator for the Chargers, Jesse Minter, as their new head coach.
Yep. And now we will see what happens because I honestly think that the dominoes about to fall in Baltimore because you got an ex-Charger guy to be your next head coach.
Yes, it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. I don't know much about Jesse Minter, but we'll see what happens there.
It's
Oh,
going
and
to be it's crazy that, McDermott is still out there looking for a job.
yeah. We'll see where he lands up. The Bucks are now officially have hired offensive coordinator Zach Robinson.
Oh, that is not a good move. Because he was the Atlanta coordinator, and that offense was up and down.
Yeah, well, we got Tampa Bay was good, but they weren't great either, to be honest.
Yeah, so this is not a good move.
No, not even close. Oh yeah, we forgot to mention the two honorary captains of the two games this week. The first for the Seahawks was a former member of the Seahawks championship team. I believe he was a member of the Legion of Boom.
You would be correct.
That would be Mr. Cam Chancellor.
The defensive back.
And then for the Patriots was their legendary kicker Adam Vinatieri.
Hell yeah.
Those were the honorary captains for this week's game coming up. Obviously, Tom Brady can't come in and do the honorary captain because of conflict of interest with the Raiders.
Yeah.
But and all that stuff. By the way, did we get through the I don't think did we ever do the I think it might have happened. Did we talked about what was it? The NFL Honors Awards. Did they announce those? We talked about it on last week's show.
We did not they did not announce like who's won them yet, but they did announce the finalists for the some of the big awards like Christian McCaffrey and Trevor Lawrence and Matthew Stafford and Josh Allen were the MVP candidates.
I think we talked about them last
We
week.
talked about some of them, but not all of them.
Okay, well we'll leave it at that.
We'll leave that at that next week.
Yeah, because the NFL honors are coming up, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I think that's it. That's all I got. I don't want to dig too.
That's all I got too.
Yeah, let's go ahead and close it out. Close it out early for tonight. Steven, final thoughts before we get out of here?
Great job. Thanks for Kevin and Joey for being here tonight. That was a lot of fun ripping the Steelers to shreds on their hiring of Mike McCarthy as their next head coach. Oh, this is going to be lovely. Watching this organization fall apart at the seam. It's going to be a long season for the Steelers as this guy as their next head coach. And Hey, not my circus, not my monkey. But anyways, you can follow us on Twitter or X at Owen_Sports Show, Facebook.com/Nation Sports Show, where we are live on most Tuesday nights, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 6 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Pacific. YouTube.com/Nation Sports Show. Be sure to like, share, subscribe to all your family and your friends who love the world of sports. And if you are a wrestling fan, check out the Nation's Corner on Twitter or X at Nation's Corner, Facebook, the Instagram, and the YouTube channel at youtube.com/Nation's Corner. The guys and gal recapping all things professional wrestling, and the Royal Rumble is this Saturday in Saudi Arabia, and it'll be very interesting to see who will be main eventing WrestleMania 42 in Sin City. And if you are in Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, and everywhere in between, I know US, and there's a lot of people potentially going to be getting snow this weekend. And if anybody's going to be getting any of this crap again, please stay safe. And again, you can thank you for tuning in here live, and those watching in on demand, thank you very much as well. Everybody out there, this weather hits you, the snow, this ice, whatever the hell hits this weekend, please stay safe. Do not get out there, do nothing stupid. Stay warm. More importantly, stay good to yourselves and everybody around you. Treat others the way you want to be treated. And with that being said, Ezra, wrap us up, my friend.
Yeah, if you're out there doing anything, doing donuts out in the fucking parking lot, acting like it on the roads, acting like it's Mario Kart, the police will not only be arresting
Yeah,
you,
like that one idiot who was doing 70 miles or whatever, or 100 miles, whatever it was, and somewhere, and he got clocked. And I'm like, you idiot, you got caught. You deserved it.
Yeah, not only will they arrest you, but they will also judge you. So be prepared for that humiliation. But everybody just be safe. It's not good to be going out in these hazardous weather conditions. But if you have to, if you got work, if you're essential, please just be careful. But we thank you guys for joining us as always. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support. You can find me at Deadman469 across my socials, Too Sweet Cosplay, of course, across all socials. Working on C2E2 plans right now. We're going to update you guys as soon as we get information from ReedPop on that. If you have a chance, get your tickets if you're in the Chicago area at that time. C2E2.com. Please go on there and get your tickets and join for one of the best cons of the year. Featuring names like Michael Cudlitz from The Walking Dead, Michael Chiklis and Ilion Griffith from Fantastic Four, Jodie Benson, the voice of Ariel the Little Mermaid, Steve Burns for Blue's Clues, the cast of Ed, Edd n Eddy, and a couple other names to be mentioned, including a Marvel Avenger, which will be announced very, very soon. So C2E2.com for more tickets. And then that's pretty much it for me. So with that being said, for Kevin Rory, for Joey Thornton, for Hijacker Mike, Stephen Wyand, and everybody in the Sports Show Nation, I am Ezra Vickery, and we will see you next week with another great edition of our Nation Sports Show. Take care, everybody. Have a great week, and we will see you all next Tuesday, same time, same YouTube channel.
Turn me up. Turn me up. Turn me up. Turn me up.
Thanks for watching this week's feature presentation of our Nation Sports Show.